blessed day and welcome to the 6th annual Luigi Summer Celebration Parade. I'm Mike Garvin.
And I'm Heather Hull. What a day for a parade. The air is present, the temperature is ambiguous, and the atmosphere is awash in pompous and circumstantial excitement.
You said it. And just look at this crowd. The folks lining the streets are so hyped for today's festivities, and so are we. We are high-key excited to be back hosting the parade this year, brought to you once again by Luigi's, the world-famous brick-and-mortar department store specializing in everything Mario's lanky brother invites into the world. What a treat it is to be here today. After the calamity of 2018, it was a crapshoot whether or not we'd be asked back, but here we are.
Yes, indeed. Who knew how quickly one senior special events correspondent could bring down the intricacies of a single parade? But we've got all that behind us now, and wow, what a parade we've got for you today.
We've got floats, we've got marching bands, and we are flush, you might say, with celebs.
Speaking of flush, let's take a minute to thank this year's executive sponsor of the Summer Celebration Parade, Church brand Easy Clean toilet seats. Come on down and get yourself a Church Easy Clean toilet seat, because when you get a Church, you get a real Easy Clean.
And I can tell you they have literally saved my soul after some mornings. Our thanks to the good people at church and our thanks to the good people at home, you, for spending your time with us today. We know you've got lots of choices in the summertime-based parade events, and we're real happy you chose the 6th annual Luigi's Summer Celebration Parade.
Indeed. We've just gotten word that we are on the move. Let's take our first look at the parade route.
Welcoming everyone to the festivities this year is New York Knicks legend and Luigi's Summer Celebration Parade Grand Marshal Patrick Ewing, 11-time NBA All-Star, 2-time Basketball Hall of Fame inductee, and former summer intern for Senator Bob Dole. Grand Marshal Ewing told us earlier this morning that, aside from the birth of his 3 beautiful children, today marks the greatest day of his life.
Akin to his days posting up deep in the paint, today, Grand Marshal Ewing is posting up in the original Batmobile from 1989's Michael Keaton brow-intensive Batman. Initially, parade organizers had planned on him being chauffeured in the Snyder Cutlass, but it was deemed too long for the parade route.
Just as expected, Grand Marshal Ewing knows how to rebound in style, and when we asked him about his preferred method of transportation, he said, "You know me, I'd rather walk." What a gesture of the court.
As part of his duties today, Grand Marshal Ewing will continue down the parade route in the Batmobile, followed by an invitation-only Sunset Tapas happy hour hosted al fresco atop the Luigi's building by the Dante's Peak Men's Chorus.
Talk about an event fit for a Knicks man. So as Grand Marshal Ewing continues his way down the parade route, heading straight towards those small plates, let's check out our next float. Oh my God, it's Godzilla. It's the king of the monsters. It's Godzilla.
As Mike's 14-year-old self just mentioned, our first float is none other than primeval champion, doom inevitable, the god of destruction himself, Godzilla. Brought to you by Magnolia by Chip and Joanna Gaines.
Magnolia, the best thing to happen to Waco, Texas since the Dr. Pepper factory.
Come visit the Magnolia Silos in Waco, where ATF now means always time for family.
This is an absolutely stunning rendition of Godzilla, and it is coated in layers of hand-dipped jute dyed from the turnip greens fresh out of Joanna's thriving home garden.
You'll note that the thorax and spinal column are clad in soft-sanded shiplap, a signature of the couple's design aesthetic. Using shiplap for fun and function. Classic JoJo.
Godzilla's, dare I say, explosive nature is captured expertly by the oral flames made from saltpeter tulle in an ombre of warm tones. Just a delicious compliment to such an exquisite piece.
Absolutely. A hard float to follow indeed. And speaking of fiery tongues, we now welcome the beloved, alleged cast of Designing Women Seasons 1 through 5. The show ran for a total of 7 seasons, flanking Suzanne's beloved black Mercedes from the show. What a treat!
Now, this float is brought to you by Farmer's Market Apple Butter. Is it apples? Is it butter? Is it required to come in a mason jar? Churning out more questions than answers, it's Farmer's Market Apple Butter. Like a millennial at a desk job, it won't last the week.
And here are Atlanta's finest: Mary Jo Shively, Charlene Fraser Stillwell, the raven-haired Suzanne, and the Terminator herself, her sister Julia Sugarbaker.
I have such wonderful memories of watching this show as a kid. You know, every turn taken in conversation it's a monologue fit for a high school speech league oral interpretation.
There's Annie Potts as Mary Jo, sporting her shorter hair from Season 1 and her glasses from Ghostbusters 1 and 2.
Now, we are delighted to have Miss Potts attend today since she, quote, doesn't get out of bed unless you match my young Sheldon rate, end quote.
It's wonderful to see Jean Smart here today as her classic character, Charlene. Though her underrated genius usually features blonde hair, so it's odd that today's Jean Smart would skew auburn, while also brandishing an electric pink energy shaft. Completely out of context for the Designing Women universe.
A bit of a Jean Grey Smart, if you ask me. And here's Delta Burke as former Miss Georgia, Suzanne Sugarbaker, united once again with her former castmates. Now, I tell you, it really seems like some stuff went down on that set. You know, after I read this oral history...
No spoilers, please. I'd like to separate the art from the rumors until I finish the series.
Well, all is to say is that it was the same in 1988 as it is today. You cannot ignore the Delta variant. And now the always poised star of stage and screen, it's Dixie Carter as Julia Sugarbaker.
Boy, could that woman deliver on a phone call. Throughout the series, Julia dressed down the likes of Donald Trump, Adolf Hitler, and an interior design reporter with a bias against Southern cuisine, all on a landline.
And can you imagine what Julia Sugarbaker could have done with an iPhone?
Her gifts would crush souls.
Notably absent from today's festivities are Meshack Taylor, who played the multifaceted voice of reason, Anthony Bouvier, and Suzanne's former pet pig, Noelle. As much as Luigi's summer celebration parade strives for authenticity, we just can't get them all.
Grand Marshal Ewing provided a statement on Meshack Taylor today, saying, I never watched Designing Ladies, but he was funny as Hollywood in that mannequin movie. I watched that twice, and he made me laugh so much. Hollywood. Snap.
Now here comes the Dante's Peak Men's Chorus. Our international arts and leisure correspondents are on special assignment at the parade today, modeling Jinko's new summer substantials.
Yes, this float is brought to you by Jinko Jeans, now proudly featuring their Summer Substantials collection. Get twisted, get lit, get all those types of hyped like Sarah Polly did in Go, then get front row for Limp Bizkit at Woodstock 99. Slip on a pair of Jinko's Summer Substantials and try not to let the weight of the material bring you right back down.
Look at those big pants go. You know, my father always used to say big pants won't fit a small mind. And today, I believe it. You wear it well, guys.
Eagle-eyed viewers will note that only 2 members of the Dante's Peak Men's Chorus are modeling today, and we're delighted to share that that's because the 3rd member is preparing for his role in Heat the Musical later on in the parade. We wish him the best of luck in his performance.
You know, his casting did not come without controversy, however. You know, among the group, there's been chatter of misappropriated chorus membership dues to pay for reportedly several edible arrangements sent to the Heat producers ahead of auditions.
We'll be sure to share our full report on the matter when we have more details. The Dante's Peak Men's Chorus is certainly no stranger to our next float, though.
That's right, it's the Ever Given, recently released from its blockage in the Suez Canal. What a sight to see coming down the parade route.
This float is brought to you by your personal collection of previous employer coffee mugs. Slightly chipped, definitely brownish, and with corporate logos rendered nearly illegible from years of dishwasher cleaning. Greet the morning with coffee from a mug that you forgot you technically stole. Previous employer coffee mugs. Tastes like you still work there.
Oh, and here come the real heroes. It's the tugboats, who saved the day the tug way. Great to see them being honored here at the parade. Mm-hmm. So strange to think that the fate of the world's economy rested on the backs of these little guys. Welcome back, friends. You've earned your supper this year.
The Ever Given is currently on a 12-stop North American tour opening up for Aerosmith, and we're sure pleased it could drift our way today. Janie's got a tug at Luigi's Summer Celebration Parade.
We're hearing that ship siren transform into a brass section that's barely in tune, which means it's time for the marching band from Teens University, the Fighting Z's. Ironically, this float is brought to you by cicadas. So what's everybody been up to these past 17 years, they ask? Cicadas. It's been a while, but we're around.
This year marks the first appearance by the Teens U Marching Band in the Summer Celebration Parade, but they'll tell you that you're the one who should be embarrassed.
Cap or no cap, the Fighting Z's are also fighting climate change, gender binaries, and any discernible expression of hope. Big yikes, bet. Let's get a closer look.
Here we see Aria, the agitated teen color guard captain, quick to judge others' choices, but let's be patient with her because she's got some family stuff going on at home. Color guard is just a really big deal for her right now. We've all been there.
Here we see Maddox, the impatient teen drummer who can't wait for his next cigarette, even though he only started smoking a month ago. Vaping is for basics.
Here we see the entire teen tuba section just doing it like they do. Easy breezy, low and steady, the weight of the horn readies them for the weight of the beer keg. You want to know where the party's at? We are the party, fam.
And they're off. A tootin' they go. Look at these teens joining marching band to be ironic, or joining marching band in surprising earnest. I never know with this group.
Look at these teens take to the thoroughfare, marching to their own beat, but also the same beat as everyone around them, because developmentally they're not able to reconcile the two.
Look at these teens pretending they invented the chunky sandal. They don't even know drip.
Look at these teens, prepared for a life of hard truths, but not for college-level reading material.
Look at these teens, awash in mediated realities and unwashed in actual reality. Weird flex, but okay, Boomer. There is a water crisis.
Look at these teens learning empathy one TikTok dance at a time.
Look at these teens thinking Nirvana counts as oldies. Travis Barker laid the stone on which you walk in gold, JXD and Jaden. You don't want to catch these hands.
Look at these teens with their middle parts. It's the finesse for me, though. I'm dead, you say? Well, sadly, so is Meshack Taylor. Does that hit different? Wig.
Look at these teens keep moving forward with their grim faces and tiny marching band caps. Now, if you could see their feet, you'd know that no pair of dinkles has ever fit tighter.
Look at these teens all wishing they could be Heather.
Look at these teens, our last hope for a better world. Be the main character we all need you to be, sweet non-binary princes.
And for heaven's sakes, get that uniform dry cleaned at the end of the season. But the teens sure are right about one thing. The 90s are back. And the decade is literally taking center stage today.
That's right. Even Broadway is latching onto 90s nostalgia, with recent musical adaptations of Green Day's American Idiot and Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill. Now The Great White Way is turning up the temperature on Michael Mann's 1995 opus, Heat.
And it's about to get Nelly-style hot in here. For the very first time in Luigi's Summer Celebration Parade history, we've got a preview of Broadway's soon-to-be hottest show, Heat, the musical. Taking the 90s screen to today's stage, it captures the classic tale of vulnerable hearts laid bare under repressive Los Angeles skies through musical adaptation.
And remember when I mentioned we were flush with celebs? Well, I hope that's ringing some bells because we are about to see the actual stars of Heat reprise their roles here today. That's right, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, and Val Kilmer are all here to bring you inside the grit of LA crime as it rubs against the soul of human connection. Brought to you by Sunny Delight and executive producer Penn Jillette, it's Heat, the musical.
Can you walk out? Or are you attached? It's just around the corner. You got 30 seconds. You feel it? It's heat, 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 heat,
There's a flip side to that coin. There's a flip side to that coin. There's a flip side to that coin. And brother, you're going down.
heat, 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 heat. I'm dying.
there's a flip side to that coin. There's a flip side to that coin. There's a flip side to that coin. And brother, my brother, oh brother, you're my brother, brother, you're going down, down. Because she's got a great ass.
Wow. Just wow. That was amazing. That was amazing.
Heat was one of my favorite movies as a boy, and to see it done such justice on the stage.
Honestly, I can't think of a greater celebration of summer than what we just witnessed right there. You've done it again, Luigi's. Amazing work and amazing job there by the cast and crew of Heat, the musical, including by one of our own, a member of the Dante's Peak Men's Chorus.
The other two members of the Dante's Peak Men's Chorus seem to be holding it together, clapping politely for what is sure to be a star turn for their friend and fellow chorus mate.
I don't know how we're going to top that for you folks at home, but we have got even more parade action coming your way. Coming up, what the Dickens is that? Wait, is that Dickens?
No, that's our next float in today's summer celebration parade, and of course it's none other than Darwingham Finchen, seen here giving his famous Galapagos address.
That is not a thing.
Oh, sure it is. Yeah, Darwingham Finchen is the performative union of Abraham Lincoln and Charles Darwin, expressed through an avian medium symbolizing how big ideas take flight.
What the f*** are you talking about?
Cool President Lincoln and OG evolutionary scientist Darwin happened to share the exact same birthday.
And is that birthday around this time of year?
No, their birthday is February 12th, 1809.
Why is this in the summer celebration parade, Mike?
They both work summers.
And this is how we follow up the next Hamilton. Okay, this Puritan choir director dressed up as a bumblebee is brought to you by the ghost of Lawrence Welk, last seen haunting the orchestra section at an arts magnet high school in Escondido, California. Mr. Welk invites all of us to keep a song in our hearts and a very stringent morality clause in all of our contracts.
Well, here's a fun fact. Because of their shared birthday, Lincoln and Darwin were both Deacon III Aquarians, often viewed as the quietest group under Aquarius rulership.
It's like a college debater made a bird feeder and then attached a fake bird to it to birdsplain seeds.
And while Darwin is from the UK and Lincoln was born in Kentucky, they do share one thing in common: great big beards.
Like a banana took LSD and then dove into a bag of Halloween candy, and as licorice, it melts to its face and it adopts 2 pieces of candy corn as the hands it never had, and then it decides it needs wings and a logoless breastplate to battle the capitalist demons as represented by the penny on the lectern.
And what a parade this is! Now, our thanks to Darwingham Finchen. And coming up next in the Luigi Summer Celebration Parade, we are boldly going where you've never gone before. It's Float, the final frontier, brought to you by Pretzel Buns. No particular brand, just the hearty summertime fulfillment of putting that impossible burger on a pretzel bun instead. Pretzel Buns. I'll take 6 more.
Parade log, stardate, Bot Girl Summer 2021. We've encountered the cast of TV's Star Trek: The Next Generation, alongside their vessel, the Starship Enterprise.
Wow. I know the show is set in space, but talk about an abundance of stars. There's Lieutenant Commander Data, all business. Lieutenant Commander Geordi LaForge. Commander William Riker, leading the way, a.k.a. Number 1. Counselor Deanna Troi, always feeling it because, as it's her species' way, she can't stop. And then there's the Crushers, ship's doctor Beverly Crusher, and the cool space teen himself, Wesley Crusher. And be on guard for some mischief and tomfoolery, because there is Q, from the Q Continuum.
Looks like they wrangled just about all of them, didn't they? Guess this is a bye week for autograph conventions.
We'll check out the detail on that Enterprise. Looks like it flew in right out of Federation space and landed right here on Earth. Hey, did you know that according to the original blueprints of the ship, the Enterprise actually had its own bowling alley on Deck 21? Sounds more like Deck 20 fun, if you ask me.
No one did, but the craft of that spacecraft is quite remarkable. Star Trek The Next Generation premiered in 1987 and ran for 7 seasons, filming 176 episodes in the process. Talk about a Starfleet feat! I'll bet they went through a lot of church easy cleans.
Hey, did you ever see that one episode where they had to deal with the ethics of making first contact with a galactically isolated community? Like, people who didn't know that there was anyone outside of their region and world. Then after they did, that isolated community started worshiping Picard as a god. Ray Wise was in that episode. Actor Ray Wise.
Well, from the year 2364 to July 4th, 1996, we've got the pride of summer coming down the parade route now to close out our broadcast today.
You said it. It's the mayor of West Philadelphia and the Lothario of Isla Nublar headed straight towards us.
Luigi's Summer Celebration Parade is happy to host Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum in our festivities this year as they drag the carcass of the alien enemy across the salt flats of scientific freedom and American bravado. Welcome to Earth, gentlemen.
Oh, look at that ship. I can almost feel the heat from the flames. It's so lifelike. Coincidentally, this float is brought to you by Madame Tussauds family of wax museum attractions. From London to Pigeon Forge, nobody's fooling Elton John's Face ID better than a trip to Madame Tussauds. Come for the selfies, stay for the half-hearted police investigation into why someone took a Zippo to Justin Bieber's wax abs. Madame Tussauds, wax on wax on wax.
As our heroes swagger towards us, you can see they're enjoying a well-deserved cigar after taking down the alien ship.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em, guys. This bud's for Harry Connick Jr.
But the drinking of that bud by Harry Connick Jr.'s to see Spirit at Independence Day will be played by Rami Malek, who will win an Oscar for that. And before we close out our parade festivities for this year, Mike's got a special message for everyone at home. Mike?
Parade. Well, that word should have a different meaning for all of us today. Now, we can't be consumed by our petty differences anymore. We will be united by our common interests in floats. And perhaps it's fate that today is Parade Day, and we will once again be marching for joy in our lives, for our teen bands, for our musical theater debuts, for our designing women, and yes, even for our Darwingham Finchins. We are gathering for our right to parade down this thoroughfare, to exist within this main street. And should we win the day, this parade will no longer be known as a regionally unspecified, vaguely holiday-adjacent event, but as the day the parade world declared with one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We are going to march on. We are going to attend the Sunset Tapas Happy Hour. Today, we celebrate our 6th annual Luigi Summer Celebration Parade.
And that's going to do it for us here at the parade today. Special thanks again to all our sponsors, especially the fine folks at Church Brand Easy Clean Toilet Seats.
Special thanks to all our guests today, and extra special thanks to Parade Grand Marshal Patrick Ewing, and very, very sorry about that issue with security earlier. There must have been a memo that did not get passed. Thanks for making this year's parade the best yet.
And finally, our thanks to you at home for tuning in today. This truly has been an insane ride. For this Just Evening In's special coverage of the 6th annual Luigi's Summer Celebration Parade, I'm Heather Hall.
And I'm Mike Garvin. It's always a good day for a parade, so come on in. Good night.